Hi guys, how are we all doing today? It's Monday, it is about 30 degrees and I am sweating. It's so hot, I can hardly breathe. It's just awful. I want it to be cold, I like it when it's cold. Please just bring back the cold. I need some rain, I need something that's below 25 degrees. I'm done with this weather. Now today's video is long overdue. It is my Q&A. Now all of these answers are going to be to questions that were given over Instagram. I did a couple of Instagram question polls, basically just to say if you've got any questions for me for my Q&A, send them over now. I got loads of responses, so I was really pleased about that. Some people that I know, some people that I've never met before, some people that I know of through Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and those sort of things. So yeah, I was really pleased with how much response I got. I really wasn't expecting that much. Some of them are repeated questions, so some people gave me the same question. So with that in mind, I have 12 questions today because actually quite a few of them were repeated. Some people gave more than one question, and some people I actually answered there and then because I didn't feel like it was the sort of question that I really could answer in a Q&A. So I have my trusty Princess and the Frog book here, and I've written down all my questions in there for you guys to hear. You'll have to excuse the look on my face today. I usually have mascara on when I'm doing my videos, but I put it on and then my eyes started to water. I think it's hay fever. And because of that I took it back off again. So it looks a little bit strange. I have it on in my thumbnail, but I do not have it on now, so that's what's happening on my face right now. A lot of these, by the way, are going to be Disney themed. I tried to alternate them between Disney and not Disney, but a lot of people ask me Disney questions because that's kind of what my channel's about, isn't it? It's mostly Disney. But there are some things just generally about my life, which is quite nice as well. Also, I'm not going to specify who sent the questions. I know some people do on YouTube Q&As, but some people might not want their name out on YouTube, and they might not want people to know that they sent the question. If you wish to comment down below and say, I sent that question, then absolutely feel free to do that. But I'm not going to publicly announce who did each question. Without further ado, here it is, my Q&A. The first question is, who is your favourite Disney princess? Now, I don't make a very good job of hiding this, particularly if you've seen my last video and the Instagram quiz that I did the other week. My favourite Disney princess is Cinderella. I just think she's lovely. She's the sort of princess that, to me, is traditional. I love all the princesses for various reasons. You know, some are more strong, some are more powerful, some are more intellectual, some are more, you know, beautiful outfits, those sort of things. But for me, Cinderella is traditionally my Disney princess. Ever since I was little, she's the one that I wanted to turn into. So she's always been my favourite, just iconic, I suppose. Next question is, will you ever do a room tour? Now, I did something very similar when I was cleaning my room a few months back, maybe even when I first started my channel, I can't even remember now. But actually, yeah, to be honest, there's something to think about, doing a room tour. If it's something you guys are interested in, which clearly it is, if someone's asking, I could show you around my room. I have to make sure it's tidy, which it isn't often. But I could certainly show you my room at some point in the future. Yeah, absolutely. I always love hearing ideas from my viewers to see what people want to watch on my channel, to see what sort of different content I can bring out. So yeah, absolutely, send me over your ideas because I love hearing from you. Next question is, which Disney film would you most want to see a sequel of? Now this is, without a doubt, Tangled. I know Tangled 2 has been in the pipeline in Disney for a very long time. Whether it's got any further than that, I'm not entirely sure. Obviously Frozen 2 is coming out in the next year or so, and Frozen came out after Tangled, so it doesn't look very likely at the moment. But on saying that, The Incredibles has just come out, so you know, that's about 15 years in the waiting. So yes, I would love to see a Tangled sequel. Tangled is one of my favourite modern Disney films. My favourite ever Disney film is Peter Pan, but I feel like doing a Peter Pan sequel like 60 years on would be a bit odd. So I wouldn't be too thrilled about that. But yes, I'd absolutely love to see a Tangled sequel. Love it. This next question I don't even know how to answer, but I'm a little bit flattered anyway. I just got a question in my Instagram DMs just to say, why are you so amazing? And I was like, I love that. So yes, to the person who sent that, it's beautiful. Thank you for that. I have no answer to it. And I could say, oh, stop. Or I could say, actually it's genetics. So yeah, literally, I have no idea how to answer that, but thank you so much. Next question is, what is your favourite Disney snack? Oh, what a question. All of them? Is that allowed? I don't know. So my favourite Disney snack. I love everything that's Mickey shaped. It sounds ridiculous, but everything tastes better when it's shaped like Mickey. Like having your sandwiches taste better when they're cut in triangles, that's a fact. It's science. So everything that's Mickey shaped, I don't know, it just tastes better. I had a marshmallow that was covered in chocolate last year, or last trip, sorry, that was Mickey shaped. That was alright. It wasn't my favourite thing, but it was okay. There's meringue. I'm not a fan too much of meringue, so I'm not sure I'd do that one. But anything that's not Mickey shaped, popcorn. Disney popcorn is everything. They do candy floss as well. I couldn't have too much candy floss, but candy floss is good. Casey's hot dog, if that counts as a snack or not a meal. Casey's hot dog with the crispy onions on top. Oh, beauty, absolute beauty. Also in Fuente del Oro in Frontierland, they do loaded fries. Yes. So it's got like cheesy stuff, it's got bacon, it's got jalapenos. I'm not a jalapeno fan, but it's got everything just on top of it, which sounds amazing. Last October when I went, I got a apple which had 2 marshmallows stuck on top, so it looked like a Mickey, dipped in chocolate, coated in those crispy balls that you get like in a Muller corner thing, the little kind of white and brown balls, which was sensational. That might be the favourite treat I've ever had at Disney. But I've rambled on about food for a little while. Just give me a second to process my thoughts. It might have to be Disney popcorn. That sounds really boring because you can get popcorn here at like cinemas, but Disney popcorn is where it's at. Don't knock it till you try it. Another question about content, which is really great. Someone's asked, will I ever do a makeup collection? Which actually, to be honest, I'd never thought about, but I do use makeup almost every day. I could do a kind of an everyday makeup collection. What do I use in a day? Not sure about a tutorial. I'm not sure how good I am to do a tutorial of my everyday makeup. I don't ever claim to be a makeup artist. I'm just someone that's normal that puts on their makeup every day. But it's something I'll think about. I could film it. If it looks pants, I just won't air it. But yes, I will certainly think about doing a makeup collection. So again, thank you for that suggestion. Have you got a favourite ride at Disney? Again, a bit like the snacks, this is hard. I tend to categorise the rides and then choose my favourite from there. So for instance, thrill rides, I would choose Big Thunder Mountain. That would be my favourite, hands down. I don't know, if you did Studios rides, I would say Crush's Coaster is my favourite, followed by Ratatouille, followed by Slinky Dog Zigzag Spin. Sorry, but that's one of the best rides ever. And right at the bottom will be Tower of Terror because I've never done it. This next trip I will do Tower of Terror. If I had to choose one ride, oh no, it's between two rides. This is hard. Can I just do both? I don't know. Okay, right. I'm going to have to give the edge to Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, that was really hard. The other one was Phantom Manor. They're always been like our traditional family rides that we go on, and because of that, obviously, I've been with my family the most out of anyone, and they're just the ones that you really want to go on, that you really miss when you're away from the parks, because they're like your family rides. They're the ones that you enjoy together, and Pirates has always been a favourite of mine because it's also got the little drops as well, which means there's this kind of slight thrill element to it as well. Phantom, I adore. and obviously it's in refurb at the moment, so fingers crossed the refurb doesn't change it too much, and the refurb hopefully will make it a little bit more English. Yeah, as much as I love it, Pirates just had the edge because of the thrill element. That's about it. This question interested me. It's a really good question, and to be honest, I'm not sure I've got an answer for it right now. The question is, if you could be any age, what would it be? And I think, to be honest, thinking about it, I would always choose to be a little bit younger than I am now. So I would want to be kind of 9 or 10, that kind of age. It's the age where you are old enough to understand the world and to know certain things that mean that you're not completely oblivious and juvenile, but you're still young enough to be a child. And obviously, you know, I do love Disney and that sort of stuff, and there's a certain amount of judgmental people who look at you when you are 23 and you're talking about Disney, and they'll sit there and go, are you a child? And I just, you know, you gotta brush off those comments and just ignore them, because you do you, is pretty much the moral of that. Oh, Mama. You'll be in my video now, Mum. Good for you. Well, there we go. That was a nice little interlude of my mum interrupting me. I like the idea of being that sort of age again. I feel like it would be really good to be like 35 as well, because then I can see what life is like in the future as well. So it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky to answer that. But yeah, really good question. This question might be my favourite one. I'm going to try not to go on a tangent for this. Why do you love Disneyland Paris so much? Now, this question could be taken in two different ways. It could be like, I'm really interested to know why you love it so much. Or it could be like, why do you love it so much? So, yes, but I would take it as the first one. And I think it's the magic. That's what it boils down to. It's the magic. It's the fact that you can walk through the gates and you can feel like a 9-year-old again, as I've just kind of said. You can feel like a child, but it's okay to feel like that. You can feel however you want. You can be whoever you want to be while you're there, and no one will judge you. Literally, you can spend the entire time wearing the most ridiculous outfit, and everyone's like, it's fine, it's Disney. And, you know, you can be someone who doesn't like big rides, doesn't like thrill rides, and you can spend the whole time on the carousel or on Snow White ride or something like that, and no one will judge you because it's Disney. Equally, you can be the person that really loves the thrill rides and doesn't care about the kind of small rides, the boat rides, that sort of stuff. And again, no one will judge you because it's Disney. I just love that you can do what you want and be who you want at Disney. Obviously, there are restrictions and rules there. You can't just do whatever you fancy. But you can be you, and I love that so much. Now, in comparison to other parks, I know it's a very common discussion to have, which is better out of all of the parks in the world, and there's a very common thought that the best park is Walt Disney World in Florida. Now, I can't comment too much about other parks because the only one I've actually been to is Paris, and I've been there 16 times now. But from what I've heard from other people and from what I do know about the other parks, is they are all so different that they can't be compared. For instance, Walt Disney World is so vast. It's got 6 parks, it's absolutely huge. And I love Paris because it's intimate, it's really little. Actually, in fact, the Disneyland park in Paris, compared to the Magic Kingdom in Florida, is actually bigger. It's actually got more acres, more kind of ground space than the one in America. So actually the Paris park is bigger. But the whole of Walt Disney World is huge compared to Paris, which is 2 parks right next to each other, within walking distance. So I just love the intimacy of it and the fact that you can get through both parks in 2 days. You won't have seen everything, and you won't have done everything, and you wouldn't have got all the intricate details that kind of I really urge people to look for when they're in the parks. But you've definitely got the idea of intimacy, and you almost feel like the park knows you. after having, you know, 48 hours there. It's a really lovely feeling. So that's why I love it. The magic, how accessible and cozy it is, and the fact that you're just free to be what you want to be. Now this next question, again a very interesting one. You guys have come up with some good questions. It's, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Now it's interesting because I don't know, basically. In 10 years I will be 33. I would like to hope by then that I would have a house and then perhaps be married and have kids. In 10 years I think that's pretty achievable. Ryan and I are thinking about houses and moving in together, but that won't be for another 2 years because of just the way that our life is panning out, and he's doing a teacher training and that sort of stuff, and he's got his current house for another 2 years. So it's not going to be another 2 years, which then means I'll be 25. When we move in together I'll be 25, and then I've got another 8 years to get me to my 10. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I will have to see how that works. But yeah, I'd like to think that I'd be married with some kids, at least one maybe, by the time I'm 33. And obviously being on plenty more Disney trips. This next question, this is my second to last question. It's, which Disney park would you like to visit the most? I'm assuming this means which one that you haven't already visited, so I'll take Paris out of it. I would love to visit Walt Disney World. We've even priced it up for next summer, but it's so expensive that it's not going to happen, unfortunately. But I really would love to go there because there's so much there that I want to experience that I haven't already. Rides like Expedition Everest and Soarin' and those sort of stuff. I'd love to do the World Showcase. I'd love to see the Tree of Life. There's so much there that I want to do, particularly the Winnie the Pooh ride. Paris doesn't have that, and it's an absolute travesty because Winnie the Pooh is obviously my favourite thing in the world ever. So they need to either bring it to Paris, or I need to get me to America, because Winnie the Pooh ride is where it's at. But equally, I would quite like to visit Shanghai as well, because it's the most modern of all of the parks. It was only 2016 that it opened, so it's only 2 years old, which is insane. And everything is far more technologically advanced. So, you know, everything's modern, everything's new, and it would be a really interesting experience comparing it to Paris, which is so traditional. And also the Shanghai castle is to die for. It's so beautiful, it's vast, its colours are all kind of pastel-y, but yet doesn't look abnormal. It looks like it could just be a castle on a mountain, and it looks spectacular, and I'd love to see it in person. So yes, those are the two parks I would really like to visit, and also California because it's the original park, Walt's park, and it's the only park that Walt was there to open, so you know, that's exciting for me. But I'm not overly fussed about Tokyo or Hong Kong at the moment, or the Hawaiian resort. They can all wait, but the other three I'd love to visit at some point soon. Okay, my last question is, do your family and your boyfriend love Disney? So obviously you guys have seen my vlogs if you've been a follower of my channel for a while, and my vlogs have been of our Disney trips. So I did one trip last October, which was with my family, and one trip in January, which was with my boyfriend. And this is something I get asked quite a lot by people just in general life, not necessarily on my channel. Do they love Disney as much as you? And I think the answer is not quite as much as me. Now my family, I think they love it as much as me, but they're not quite as intensely obsessed with it as I am. So they absolutely love going to Disney. My dad particularly has got a whole bunch of books, I'm looking at them right now up there, a whole bunch of books to do with Disney, Walt Disney's life, the Disney parks, the Treasury of Children's Classics, Imagineering, 20 Years of Dreams, The Diary of a Disney Architect, all that sort of stuff. There's lots of books up there that my dad's collected over his time being, you know, a part of the Disney universe. Dad used to work for Disney. He used to be a manager in the Hammersmith headquarters in London, so that was a good time of life when we had access to Disney parks for free and all that sort of stuff. So yes, that was a good time. I went to lots of Disney premieres as well. So yeah, we were very, very fortunate when Dad worked for Disney that we had all these opportunities. And I do think that kind of cemented my love for Disney at a time when I could have gone off it, in as much as it was when I was a teenager. And I could have potentially started drifting and being like, oh yeah, it's not cool, it's not cool. But I think that just made me like it more because I had all these opportunities that I wouldn't have got ordinarily. Now, my mum and my brother also loved Disney, but yeah, not quite as much as me. And my boyfriend, he likes it. He likes Disney, is what he says to me. I like Disney. But he's learnt to love it more being with me, I believe. You know, he's the one that suggests a lot of the time that we go on Disney holidays. So obviously he loves it enough to do that. And actually, he seems to suggest that he's really enjoyed learning about Disney. Obviously, I'm really enthusiastic about it and I want him to be as well. So I'm often bombarding these facts at him and saying, oh, you know, this is great about Disney, this, and this. Particularly when we're there, I'll point at something and go, oh, that in 1996 was installed because of... And we'll go on this, like, kind of factual rampage. He's not quite into all the films as much as I am. But then again, I'm not really that into the films. I'm not going to sit and watch lots of Disney films all day. But it's just, yeah, it's one of those things that he's learning, and that's all I can ask. He's eager as well. He's eager to learn. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. Well, there we go, guys. That was my first Q&A on this channel, and I, to be honest, loved it. I love the fact that you guys are interested in what I do and what I have to say. And again, if you've got any more suggestions for things that I could do as videos, feel free to fire them at me either down below in the comments or via Instagram or via Twitter, anything like that. Just let me know. Be sure to follow my Facebook page as well, which is It All Started With a Blog, and I've got a WordPress page which I've put down in the description down below, along with all of my social media. If you're new to my channel, click subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like, and then you can see all sorts of things that I will get up to in the near future. If you don't already know, I've got a Disney trip coming up next April and I have lots of things to plan for that, so watch out for new videos coming up on my channel. I will see you guys next week for the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week.